Today we are going to label, or at least identify by highlighting or marking, the physical features of Africa. Last week we actually talked about the Atlas Mountains when we did North Africa. So if you go up to the north of Africa and you can just underline or circle or highlight the Atlas Mountains. Okay. Another physical feature that we want to identify is the Niger River. So I'm going to use a blue since it's a river. So you would think, if you look really close, that it might be near Niger or Nigeria. You would be right. If you look, you'll find the Niger River. And you can trace that with the blue. Circle it. Another physical feature that you're going to need to know as we study the rest of Africa is the Congo Basin. The Congo Basin, well, guess what? It might be in where it says Congo with the Congo River. So the Congo Basin is going to be in this area. Let's just circle Congo. And what's cool about the Congo is it is actually rainforest. So I'm using green because you can use whatever color. If you don't have color, just circle it with your pencil. But this is actually a rainforest area in Africa. We've already talked about the Sahara Desert, so we'll go ahead and label that. I'm going to use orange, kind of like for sand. But the Sahara, there is also another desert that is at the bottom of Africa called the Kalahari Desert. So we have now identified the Kalahari and the Sahara Desert. We're going to go down to and go ahead and use blue as well for the Nile River. That was also in North Africa, which we've already studied. So if you go to your map, you find Egypt, you'll see here's the Nile Delta, and here's the Nile River, and it keeps going. It actually turns into what's called the White Nile. And keeps going in the Blue Nile, and you can see, where that goes. Another physical feature we are going to label is Lake Victoria. It's very large. It is bordered with Kenya and Uganda. So we have labeled the Nile River. We have labeled Lake Victoria. The Serengeti Plains are actually grasslands. I think I'll use yellow for those. So the Serengeti Plains, if you look at your map and you think about people that go on safari, they're going to be going through the plain. You can think Tanzania, Zambia, all of these are like plain areas other than this desert. You're going to have some of the grassy plains that go kind of through underneath the Sahara. You're going to have some grassy plains that kind of go through in here. Most of Africa is actually Serengeti. It is going to be your grassy plains where you would think about, you see pictures of people going on safari. So we have got your Serengeti Plains. We're going to find Mount Kilimanjaro. We're just going to use a brown for that. Okay, I don't see Mount Kilimanjaro on here, so we're going to label it. So if you find Kenya, so if you look at kind of the rhino horn looking thing here and you're going down, there's Kenya. And there's Lake Victoria. So Mount Kilimanjaro is right around here. I'm just going to put it in Mount Kila, just like it sounds, K-I-L-A, Man, M-A-N, Jaro, J-A-R-O. So we have now done Mount Kilimanjaro. Let's look for the Zambezi River. It's in that same area. So if you look at Zimbabwe, that sounds a lot like Zambezi. You can see the Zambezi River, so you can identify the river. You can circle it. So we have got our Zambezi River. Another feature is there's a group of islands right here called the Canary Islands. So go ahead and circle that. We'll mark those off. There on your list, you'll see something called the Ethiopian Highlands. Well, the country is Ethiopia. So we're going to find Ethiopia. There it is, and it says Ethiopia Highlands. Okay, that your note page is also asking you to find Lake Chad. Well, you might guess it is in Chad, which is right in Central Africa, and there is the little bitty dots right there, and that's Lake Chad. Okay, one other thing that is not on your map specifically, but we're going to add in, is that this is called the Cape of Good Hope, this part where you see Cape Town. So we're just going to put a star, and we're going to add in Cape of Good Hope. And now you have your physical feature map finished. I would like for you to take this. We're going to fold it. I would like you to put it in your notebook with glue so that it can be opened, and you'll be able to refer back to the physical features of Africa.